Hello, ninth standard. Have a good day. Have a nice day. Today we are going to do video number 34, continuation of our lesson unit 24, Environmental Science part 4, last part of the lesson that we are going to learn today. Right? I hope you have understood the lesson so far covered. I am sure you have gone through the lesson also. You please do it. Only then it is easy to follow the next day session. You know that, but still you have to follow it. Right? And yesterday's session we have done strategies to conserve water. Yeah. We have done importance of water conservation as என்ன சொல்றது domestic conservation and agricultural conservation பார்த்தோம்ல agricultural conservation la what all we have done agricultural conservation water is often lost due to leak in canal runoff and evaporation, so we have to conserve in better way. That measures are to be taken. சரியா? Using lined or covered canals that reduce loss of water and evaporation. Using improved techniques such as sprinkler and drip irrigation. Drip irrigation நம்ம last year படிச்சிருக்கோம். Sprinkler and drip irrigation. Improvement, crop improvement படிச்சோம்ல அந்த லெசன்ல. Encouraging development of crops that require less water and are drought resistant, and mulching of soil in vegetable cultivation and in horticulture. These are all agricultural conservation of water. Whereas domestic, அது நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்திருக்கோம், limited usage of water, not to use full flow of tap அதெல்லாம் பார்த்தோம்ல, that is domestic conservation. And then we have done strategies adopted to conserve water as rainwater harvesting, improved irrigation technique, active use of traditional harvesting structure, minimizing domestic water consumption, and awareness to conserve water. Then this two methods of strategies we are learning in this session. One we have done yesterday as farm pond, and then farm pond is a structured layout, and it is provide water to growing crops without waiting for rainfall. They provide water for irrigation even when there is no rain. They reduce soil erosion. They increase the groundwater level, and they improve the drainage also. And they provide water for domestic purpose and livestock. Nama bookla padchonda, that is page number 97, 297. சரியா? So this is for advantages of farm pond. Today we are going to do water recycling as video number 34. And last part of the session of the lesson, part 4. Okay? Water recycling, apart from rainwater harvesting, is also one of the strategies to conserve water. Recycling the water to be used again in a better way by undergoing certain processes. Okay? Water recycling is reusing treated wastewater for beneficial purposes. What are the beneficial purposes? எதுக்கெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம்? Agricultural and landscape irrigation. I repeat, water recycling is reusing treated wastewater for beneficial purposes such as agricultural and landscape irrigation, industrial processes, flushing in toilets, and groundwater recharge. Sorry. So today, now wastewater recycling stages nu solrom. Adha vandu conventional wastewater treatment consists of combination of physical, chemical, and biological processes. I repeat, conventional wastewater treatment consists of combination of physical, chemical and biological process which remove solid organic matter and nutrients from wastewater. And this wastewater treatment involves the stages as primary treatment, secondary treatment and tertiary treatment. Repeat, the recycling of water that includes wastewater treatment as primary treatment, secondary treatment and tertiary treatment. Right? So primary treatment, first it is undergoing the process sedimentation where heavy solids are filtered out. Water can used water can the பழைய துணி இல்ல plastic paper அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் போடுவாங்க அந்த solid இதெல்லாம் settle ஆகும் and then sometimes the சாய கழிவு அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் கொட்டில இதெல்லாம் பண்ணா the oil grease அந்த மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் அதுல வந்து settle ஆகும். Okay, so first sedimentation, heavy solids we are referring to the பழைய துணி paper and then water can அந்த மாதிரி போடுறதெல்லாம் இந்த செடியை உடச்செல்லாம் போடுறதெல்லாம் நம்ம ஏரியாவில் அதெல்லாம் இதில் செட்டில் ஆகிடும். Then flotation, oil and grease and then filtration. The first primary treatment. It is a primary treatment of wastewater. It is involving temporary holding of wastewater in a tank. Primary wastewater treatment is a temporary holding of wastewater in a tank. The heavy solids settle down at the bottom while oil, grease and lighter solids float over the surface. And the settled and floating materials are removed and the remaining liquid undergoes secondary treatment. So here this wastewater treatment plant, this is a diagrammatic sketch. Now when you are learning this lesson, in the picture வந்து உனக்கு வீடியோல வரும் பார்த்துக்கோ. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேஸ்ட் வாட்டர் அதான் சீவேஜ் சொல்லுவோம்ல அதை வந்து ஆக்சுவலாக செடிமெண்டேஷன் இதை வந்து பார் ஸ்க்ரீன் அதுக்கு இதாக இருக்கும் ஒரு கிரிட் சேம்பர் சொல்லலாம். Through the bar screen, the large rubbish pieces will be settled down here. இது வந்து தடுத்துரும். இந்த bar screen grit chamber வந்து இந்த solid எல்லாம் தடுத்துரும். Right? And then the grit and sand removal tank. அதில் வந்து இந்த மீதி வந்து இதில் வருது. இப்போ மீதி உள்ள இந்த சாக்கடை சொல்லுவாங்க, இந்த கசடு சேர் அள்ளி போடுவாங்க, அந்த இது வந்து இந்த செகண்ட் இது. ரைட்? அண்ட் first sedimentation tank. So இந்த இதில் solid remove பண்ணி and then மீதி உள்ள இந்த கசடு ஸ்லட்ஜ்னு படிப்போம், அதுவும் சாண்டும் இதில் ரிமூவ் பண்ணி இந்த ஸ்லட்ஜு மட்டும் இதில் தங்கி இருக்கும், solid waste. And this is first sedimentation tank. I hope you understand. So this is primary treatment of wastewater. Right? நம்ம புக்கில் இந்த டயக்ராம் இல்லை, நான் வந்து உனக்கு தரேன், கொஸ்டின் பேங்க்கில் வரும். ரைட்? தென் செகண்டரி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் இஸ் யூஸ் டு ரிமூவ் தி biodegradable dissolved organic matter, that is by biological oxidation. Secondary treatment is used to remove the biodegradable dissolved organic matter. This is performed by the presence of aerobic microbes as biological oxidation. So the process is by biological oxidation. Then the wastewater is settling by sedimentation process. But separating the sediments of biological solid in a sedimentation. Biological solid, the remaining liquid is discharged for tertiary treatment. For secondary treatment la ennalam padikrom, biological oxidation by aerobic microbes, then sedimentation which is biological solid is settled, and it is third is by filtration. So here again see the picture. It primary treatment, and then it goes to aeration tank. Aerobic bacteria, aerobic microbe function pannum, and then the compressed air from there it goes to, it forms a secondary sedimentation tank. Whereas clean water will be sent through another pipe. Then here it is activated sludge. It is sent for tertiary treatment. அதே மாதிரி இதுலேயும் ப்ரைமரியில் இந்த ஸ்லட்ஜ் இருக்குல்ல, அது செகண்டரி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு போகாது. இட் இஸ் சென்ட் பை அ பைப் லைன். இது எல்லாமே ஒரு பைப் லைன் சொல்லுவாள், சிவியர் சொல்லுவாள். அது வந்து இதுலேருந்து இது வரும். இந்த செகண்டரி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்டும் இந்த ஆக்டிவேட்டட் ஸ்லட்ஜும் இதில் ஜாயின் ஆகி ரெண்டு ஒரு காமன் ஸ்லட்ஜ் இதில் சேர்ந்துக்கும். This is secondary treatment, right? Up to this primary treatment, first sedimentation tank, then secondary sedimentation tank. Third one the tertiary treatment, that is physicochemical. Physicochemical, that is tertiary treatment. Tertiary treatment is the final step of sewage treatment. Tertiary treatment is the final step where removal of inorganic constituents such as nitrogen, phosphorus and microorganisms. I repeat, removal of inorganic constituents such as nitrogen, phosphorus and microorganisms. The fine colloidal particles in the sewage water are precipitated by adding chemical coagulants like alum or ferric sulfate. The tertiary treatment it involves removal of inorganic constituents such as nitrogen, phosphorus and microbes. The fine colloidal particles in the sewage water are precipitated by adding coagulants like alum or ferric sulfate. Alum na nama padinam solluvolla adu. So this is wastewater treatment, 3 stages. So nama textbook la these 3 stages are given as explanation. You have to do this explanation, plus we have என்ன சொல்றது flow chart. As in the flow chart இதுவும் உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். And then this diagram will be given in the question bank. This diagram also you have to learn, right? So diagram alone, wastewater treatment plant diagram alone can be asked for short answer, or flow chart alone can be asked as short answer, or flow chart and the scheme together brief answer and with the explanation can be asked. So be ready with all the 3. So in the 3 questions possible, 2 short answers, another scheme taniya, flow chart taniya, and then brief answer வந்து 2 brief answer, explanation and scheme with the flow chart, right? So அது வந்து நல்லா படிச்சுக்கோ. I hope you understand. This what is given an inlet sewage water, that is the description. Here it is written on the board. I hope you understand. Every இது கொஞ்சம் முடிச்ச உடனே ஒரு தடவை go through பண்ணு, அதான் it is easy to understand and easy to remember. சரியா? The next one, uses of recycled water. இந்த இப்போ வந்து சொன்னாங்க, அந்த ஸ்லட்ஜுக்கு அப்புறம் the clean water secondary treatment it is taken separately. So what is that use of the cleaned water? The recycled water, it is used for the purpose of agriculture, landscape, public park, cooling water for power plants and oil refineries, toilet flushing, dust control and construction activities. இதுக்கெல்லாம் இந்த recycling waste water யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். சரியா? இது சின்ன சின்ன பாயிண்ட்ஸ் தான் that you can learn from the textbook. I hope you understand this. So conservation of waterல நம்ம ரெண்டு strategy படிச்சிருக்கோம். ஒன்று வந்து farm pond, another வந்து water recycling. என்ன பண்ணுறோம்? Water சொல்லு. Strategies adapted to conserve water. There are two methods. One is farm pond, another one is water recycling. I hope you understand. The next step, we are going to learn about a new topic. So I read as IUCN. New topic, IUCN. IUCN, International Union. IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. I repeat, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Expansion தெரிஞ்சிருக்கனா International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, right? And it is an international organization working in the field of nature conservation and sustainable use of natural resources. It is a global authority on the status of natural world and nations. இதை வந்து go through பண்ண So, it is a global authority on the status of natural world and the measures needed to safeguard it. Right? Now, what is the vision of IUCN? It is just word that values and conserve nature. It is values and conserve nature. Right? Mission of IUCN is to influence, encourage and assist societies throughout the world to conserve the integrity and diversity of nature and to ensure that any use of natural resources is equitable and ecologically sustainable. Line go through panna. Mission of IUCN. What did I go through panna? So, mission of IUCN is to influence, encourage and assist societies throughout the world to conserve integrity and diversity of nature and to ensure any use of natural resources is equitable and ecologically sustainable. Then the organization is best known to wider public for compiling and publishing IUCN Red List of threatened species which assess the conservation status of species worldwide. நம்ம வந்து biodiversity படிச்சோம்ல, இந்த biodiversityல what is it? It includes variety of plants and animals, otherwise we say flora and fauna சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? அந்த biodiversityல we have hotspots where there are special animals and plants present in those hotspots, and it is a must and it is the duty of every individual to protect these bio reserves. So adulayo when என்ன சொல்றது, when a population status is checked, it is found that there are plants and animals which become threatened, which are as threatened animals or endangered species or extinct species. So that is maintained by an organization as Red Data Book. அதான் Red List சொல்லுவோம். சரியா? So the organization is best known to the wider public for compiling and publishing the IUCN Red List of threatened species. India, a mega diverse country with only 2.4% of land area, accounts for 78% of all recorded species. It includes over 45,000 species of plants and 91,000 species of animals. இது வந்து பார்த்துக்கோ, கால்குலேஷன் தெரியணும். அப்புறம் வந்து இதை பாரு, these are all extinction risk னு சொல்லுவாங்க. extinctனா ex னு இருக்கும். extinct in the wild ana EW னு இருக்கும். So threatened categories are critically endangered, they are represented as CR, endangered animal EN, and vulnerable VU. The kutti abbreviation உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். Just to give a glance. Right? Then nearly threatened, near threatened NT, least concern LC, and data deficient on the DD, and not evaluated on the NE. இதெல்லாம் ஒரு approximate or என்ன சொல்றது, an idea for the Red Data Book to be noted. And it includes over 45,000 of plants and 91,000 species of animals. Right? The country's diverse physical features and climatic conditions have resulted in a variety of ecosystems such as forest, wetland, grassland, desert, coastal, and marine ecosystem. என்ன சொல்றது, diverse physical features என்னெல்லாம்னாக்க variety of ecosystem as forest ecosystem, wetland ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert, coastal, and marine ecosystems. Right? 4 of 34 globally identified biodiversity hotspots are found in India. What are all? The Himalayas, the Western Ghats, the Northeast, and the Nicobar Islands. I repeat, the Himalayas, biodiversity hotspots, the Himalayas, the Western Ghats, the Northeast, and the Nicobar Islands. Right? India became state member of IUCN in the year 1969 through the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. I hope you can note this. So IUCN was founded on 5th October 1948 in Gland, the name of a place called Gland, Switzerland. So here critically endangered species are Himalayan brown red bear, and endangered species is red panda. So this is for details of IUCN. இது வந்து நீ அப்படியே படிச்சுக்க வேண்டியதுதான், எல்லாமே important. I hope you understand. So far we have covered wastewater treatment plant, இதெல்லாம் primary, secondary, and tertiary. இதுக்கு conservation of water, and then as IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. I hope you understand. So நம்ம இப்போ புக்கில் உள்ள இந்த ஃப்ளோ சார்ட் இருக்குல்ல, இன்லெட், இது வந்து இதுதான் இங்கே நோட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஜஸ்ட் கோ த்ரூ பண்ண ஃபார் அ செகண்ட், வில் கண்டினியூ. ஐயூசியனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், எக்ஸ்பான்ஷன் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். Can you? இது வந்து brief answer க்கு படிச்சுக்கோ. Right? The next we'll come back to adaptation. Recollect பண்ண points, recollect பண்ண adaptation of plants we have done. Adaptations of plants that we have done. Clear? Alert. என்னலாம்? Hydrophyte, xerophyte and mesophytes. Clear? ஞாபகம் இல்ல? Hydrophytes, xerophytes and mesophytes. Alert. Hydrophytes நம்ம டீடைல்ல படிச்சோம். Example free floating hydrophyte. Example Icania. Then submerged, example Vallisneria. I hope you could recollect that diagram also. Whereas in xerophytes, it is in extreme dry condition, dry habitat. Example Opuntia, where it is termed as phylloclad, where stem is doing the function of photosynthesis and the leaves are reduced to spines. I hope you remember that. The next mesophytes. என்ன படிச்சோம்? Mesophytes, plants growing in moderate climatic conditions. Mesophytes are common land plants which grow in situations that are neither too wet nor too dry. They do not need extreme adaptations. Adaptations of mesophytes. The roots of mesophytes are well developed and are provided with root cap. The stem is generally straight and branched. The leaves are generally broad and thin. The presence of waxy cuticle in leaf traps the moisture and reduce the water loss. And leaves have stomata which close in extreme heat and wind to prevent transpiration. சரியா? And we'll just continue to recollect the point. Next, we move on to animal adaptations. Otherwise, adaptations of animals. என்ன தெரியும்? Adaptations of animals. Right? Are they any plants adapted according to their habitat as hydrophyte, xerophyte and mesophytes. Yeah. Same way, animals are also adapted to their climatic conditions or to their environmental surroundings. Yeah. Adula, today we are going to learn about adaptations of bat and earthworm. Right? How the bats are adapted and how are the earthworms adapted to their environmental changes. Right? Now first, animals can adapt themselves according to their habitat. Temperature and light are the forms of energy which influence various stages of life activities such as growth, metabolism, reproduction, movement, distribution and behavior. Right? Animals develop special features or behavioral pattern to escape from extreme conditions of temperature and light. So here we are going to learn about adaptations of bat and earthworm. So first adaptations of bat. Bat na என்னது? வௌவால். வௌவால் கத்துக்கல நம்ம நிறைய பேர் கோல் பண்ணினா நிறைய தொங்கும் மேல. இல்ல? So this bat is the adaptation என்னங்கறத பார்ப்போம். First one, it is nocturnality. Nocturnality. First one, it is nocturnality. That is Bats are the only mammals that can fly. அது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டாக நோட் பண்ணிக்கணும். Bats are the only flying mammal. Then they live in caves. Apart from caves and crevices, they extremely important to human to reduce insect population and help to pollinate plants. And adaptation of bat in relation to their habitat. First one, it is nocturnality. That is, animals which are active during daytime, they are called diurnal animals, and animals which are active during night time, they are called nocturnal animals. Now this bat, it is active only during night time. சரியா? கோவிலெல்லாம் நீ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நைட் அதை அப்படியே சுற்றி நம்ம தலைக்கு மேலே சுற்றி சுற்றி வரும். அப்புறம் அது வந்து செவரில் மேலே கூரையில் ஒட்டிக்கும். ரைட்? ஸோ பேட்ஸ் ஆர் ஆக்டிவ் அட் நைட். This is useful adaptation for them as flight requires lot of energy during day. ஏன்னா we say bat is a flying mammal. இப்போ அந்த fly பண்ணுறதுக்கு it needs energy because birds can fly but their body is suited according to their mode of flying. எப்படி? It is streamlined body, then having lightweight feathers and bones are hollow, that is called pneumatic bones, and then lungs are provided with air sacs. These are the adaptive features for birds to fly. Whereas bat வந்து அந்த மாதிரி கிடையாது. So it has to spend lot of energy. அதனால it is active during night time. அப்பனால it has to fly. Right? So the bats are active at night, which is a useful adaptation because flight requires lot of energy during day. Right? And the birds to fly, it is having a spread of wings that is called a thin membrane that is known as patagium. Having a thin membranous wing called patagium. Okay, so it is said that the thin black wing membrane called patagium may cause excessive heat absorption during the day. This may lead to dehydration. So it flies only at night. So they are active only during night. So it is, the condition is called nocturnality. Right? Then second one is flight adaptation for bat. Second one, flight adaptation. Flight adaptation. What do we know? Flying is useful. In what way it is adapted? Forelimbs are modified to serve as wings. In bat, forelimbs are modified to serve as wings. Tail support and controls movements during flight. Tail supports and controls movement during flight. Muscles are well developed and highly powerful and achieve in beating of wings. The point ரொம்ப important, note பண்ணிக்கோ. Muscles are well developed and highly powerful and achieve in beating of wings. Tendons of hind limbs provide a tight grasp when the animals are suspended upside down at rest. வௌவால் வந்து தலைகீழ தொங்கும். நம்ம கோயிலில் மேலே பார்த்தோம்னாக்க நம்ம ரூஃப்லலாம் தலைகீழ நிறைய வௌவால் தொங்கிட்டு இருக்கும். சரியா? ஸோ டெண்டான்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹைண்ட் லிம்ப். டெண்டான்ஸ்னா it is a bundle of muscles. The bundle of muscle fibers in the hind limb. It provides the hind limb to have a tight grip so that animal can hang upside down. So this is flight adaptation. I hope you follow this. Then third one, it is hibernation. Third one, hibernation. We come across two terms. One is hibernation, winter sleep, and estivation, summer sleep. How about that? Hibernation is a state of inactivity in which body temperature lowered with the lowered metabolic rate during winter. I repeat, hibernation is a state of inactivity which the body temperature drops with the lowered metabolic rate during winter. Sorry? Bats are warm-blooded animals, but unlike other mammals, they let their internal temperature reduce when they are resting. They go to a state of decreased activity to conserve energy. So hibernation, என்ன சொல்லணும், definition தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். It is a state of inactivity in which body temperature drops with a lowered metabolic rate during winter. அதை ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோ. Bats are warm-blooded animals, but unlike other mammals, they let their internal temperature reduce when they are at rest, and they go to a state of decreased activity to conserve energy. This is for hibernation. Okay, so first nocturnality வந்து active during night time. Then patagia is a spread of wing membrane. Flight adaptation, இது வந்து bat is the only flying mammal. So இது வந்து hind limb of 10 4 limbs are modified patagia. Hind limb of tendon வந்து அது வந்து grip எடுத்துக்கிறது. To hold the substratum, it gets the grip. And then hibernation, winter sleep to conserve energy. Right? And then fourth one is called ecolocation. Fourth one is called ecolocation. Normally, கோவிலில் தான் நம்ம கரெக்டாக கண்டுபிடிப்போம். இந்த கோவிலில் நம்ம நைட்டு சுவாமி தரிசனம் பண்ண போடுவது, இந்த மண்டபத்தை சுற்றி பிரகாரம்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல, அங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த மேடலில் இந்த ஒவ்வால் உட்காந்துருப்போம். அது அப்படியே சுற்றி சுற்றி வரும்போது அது கிச்சு கிச்சு கிச்சுனா சத்தம் போடும். தட் இஸ் இக்கோடு பேக். இக்கோனா எதிரொலி சொல்லுவோம்ல, அந்த மாதிரி எதிரொலி கேட்கும். அதுதான் ecolocation. Right? Bats use remarkable high frequency system called echolocation. Bats use a remarkable high frequency system called echolocation. Bats give out high frequency sound, that is called ultrasonic sound. These sounds are reflected back from its prey and perceived by the ear. I repeat, bats give out high frequency sound, ultrasonic sound. These sounds are reflected back from its prey and perceived by the ear. And bats use these echoes to locate and identify the prey. This is important adaptation as echolocation for the bat. I hope you understand. So there are 4 adaptive features for bat. One is nocturnality, second one flight adaptation, third one hibernation, and fourth is echolocation. Are you clear? So this is for bat. The next one is for earthworm. Adaptations of earthworm. What can you understand? Earthworm, first it is, it is the friend of the farmer. Yeah. So adaptation of earthworm, what is its habitat? It is especially garden soil. Yeah. It is commonly found in soil, feeding on live and dead organic matter. Earthworm plays a vital role in maintaining soil fertility. It facilitates aeration, water infiltration, and producing organic matter to increase the crop growth. Earthworm lives in soil, it moves in and around the soil, right? As a result, the soil is loosened and the nutrients are soil nutrient, they are அப்படியே கலந்துக்கிறது சொல்ல மிக்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறது மிங்கிலிங் சொல்லுவோம்ல அந்த மாதிரி it just getting loosened and mixed with the soil and it provides aeration, water infiltration and producing organic matter to increase crop growth. சரியா? So this is use of earthworm and its adaptation. First, earthworm, it has streamlined body. Earthworm has streamlined body. Another earthworm actually it is cylindrical, long cylindrical and segmented. The segment, each segment can be separated easily and that segmentation it is called annulation. Segmentation is called annulation. Yeah. So here first streamlined body, earthworm has cylindrical, elongated and segmented body. It helps them to live in narrow burrows underground and for easy penetration of the soil. Can you understand this? Again I say it has a cylindrical, elongated, segmented body. The segment is called annulation, right? And then it helps them to live in narrow burrows underground and for easy penetration into the soil. Then second one, it is provided with the moist skin. Earthworm has moist skin. Another, it is present in the soil. So mucus covers the skin which does not allow soil particle to stick to it. For the soil, sometimes it is not dry all the time. Yeah, it will be watered. The plants are watered, and then it will be raining, drizzling, and the soil is most probably all the time wet. Yeah. At the same time, the whole body, the skin, it is covered with the bristles. The mucus covers the skin which does not allow the soil particle to stick to it. Moist skin helps in oxygenation of blood. Actually, respiration is mainly done through moist skin, cutaneous respiration. Okay, and also as air enters through the moist skin, it is meant for aeration, otherwise oxygenation of blood. So here it is moist skin. Right? Then third point is burrowing. Third adaptation is burrowing. Burrowing na actually இந்த earthworm soil உள்ளதான் இருக்கும் இல்லையா? But at the same time, normally morning நீ பார்த்தேன்னா wherever the more earthworms are moving, அங்கே அப்படி நிறைய குவியலாக இருக்கும். They are the burrows. சரியா? So its body is flexible, having circular and longitudinal muscle. The earthworm body, it is having the longitudinal and this way circular muscles. So I repeat, in the lengthwise muscles of the earthworm body, it is longitudinal. When it is circular, forming circular muscles, right? So its body is flexible, having circular and longitudinal muscles which help in movement and subsoil burrowing. Each segment on the lower surface of the body have number of bristle-like structure called setae. The earthworm is having numerous bristle-like structure called setae, with the help of which it gets the grip of the soil. Okay, so here these setae help the earthworm to move through the soil and provide anchor in burrows. Anchor na fixing to get the grip. Sorry. So this is for burrowing. So ennalam paathirukom, streamlined body, moist skin and burrowing. Right? Then fourth one, it is estivation. Fourth one, it is estivation. What is it? Estivation, when the soil becomes too hot or dry, earthworm become inactive and undergo a process called estivation. Normally, higher animals la estivation na summer sleep, hibernation winter sleep, to overcome the situation. Same way in earthworm also, when the soil becomes dry and or too hot, it undergoes the process estivation. Okay, so earthworm moves deeper into the soil. It secretes mucus and lowers their metabolic rate in order to reduce water loss. They remain dormant until conditions become favorable and they come out of their burrow during rainy season. I hope you follow this. So this is the adaptations of animals, where we have seen adaptations for two animals, one for bat, nocturnality, flight adaptation, hibernation and echolocation. Whereas for earthworm, we have seen streamlined body, presence of annulated segments, then moist skin, burrowing, presence of setae and estivation, summer sleep. I hope you understand. So this is adaptations in animals, right? So in this chapter, we have learned biogeochemical cycle, water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, then adaptations of plants, hydrophytes, xerophytes and mesophytes, and adaptations of animals for bat and earthworm. Bat in the 4 points, animals in the 4 points. Then we have learned conservation of water, importance of conservation, and the conservation of water one on the farm pond, another one recycling of water. Recycling of water, we have learned wastewater treatment. Sorry? And then we have learned about IUCN. I hope you understand. So go through the lesson. During doubt clearing session, note down the points and we will clarify the doubt. We will continue in the next video session. Wish you all the best. Thank you.